Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Barry here with the Scryguystv, and today we got another deck tech for you from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. And today we're going to be doing one of the, I don't know, I guess at this point, zombie lords of Magic the Gathering. And we're going to be talking about Geralf The Fleshwright. I don't know who thought about that name, but he is a 2 and a blue legendary creature, a human warlock. Whenever you cast a spell during your turn, other than your first spell that turn, create a 2/2 black, blue and black zombie rogue creature token. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each other zombie that entered the battlefield under your control, and it under your control this turn, and it is a 2/3. So, being in blue, there's not really a lot of I want to say a lot of access to some really good zombies, unfortunately. But so, and especially at this price point, so we're going to be doing a lot of cantrip type of effects or type of cards in this deck to really try to fill up the board as much as possible. Now, before we get into the actual deck tech, I do want to say I didn't put any of the the counter spells and stuff in here. I mean, it's in the deck, but I didn't put it in this presentation because you should already know to put that in there, like counterspell, negate, arcane denial, Lazatep plating for the hexproof and all that stuff. So just in case you're wondering, well, where's the protection? How is this board going to sustain itself? It's in the deck, but I just really wanted to highlight the things that are really going to pop off the zombie token production into this deck. So yeah, there's that. All right, guys. Alright, now let's look into this. Draw at high noon. We're going to be using a lot of cantrips to really be able to trigger the token creation and the token buffing effect as much as possible. So we're going to be looking at cards like Brainstorm, Opt, and Clairvoyance, which doesn't get us the card right away, but it gets it at the beginning of the next upkeep. But these are the cards that are going to help us fill up, keep our hands fill, and create a whole bunch of zombies on the battlefield. But we also want to take advantage of the sorcery spell ones, just because this only really triggers on our turn. So we're going to be playing cards like Ponder, Preordain, and Slip Through Space, which is nice because it also gives one of our zombies unblockable, and possibly if we buff up a zombie enough on one turn, then we might be able to hit for a decent amount of damage. Now you're gonna ask, well, we're gonna be churning through so many of our cards that we might run out of cards. Well, we're also going to be playing cards like Commit to Memory, which is a nice a dual card, because it's going to give us the ability to not counter a spell, but really counter a spell or tuck a spell away. I forgot what it's really called, but we're going to be playing this mainly for the memory part. It's going to be a 6 mana Time Twister. But you can only cast it from the graveyard. So just a really great way for us to refill our hand. And then we're also going to be playing the new version, Step Between Worlds, where we can plot it for 6 and cast it at a later time, or we can cast it for 5. I mean, if we plot it, then everyone kind of can see it coming, especially when you're jazz handing, or maybe you only have one card left, and hopefully that's a counter spell to possibly stop this from not getting possibly to stop this from not resolving and all that stuff. And then if you really want to be mean and we're able to fit this within this budget, we have Narset Parter of Veils, which one, it stops people from drawing too many cards. I mean, the One Ring is running rampant in whatever in all the formats that it's illegal in, but this also lets us dig for non-creature spells just in case we start to run out of gas in this deck. And it's also really mean if we are able to wheel and our set is out. There can be more than one. So unfortunately, we are in blue. We don't have access to things like Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, Anointed Procession. So we have to do our best imitation of that as possible. And we're going to do that with cards like Irenicus's Vile Duplication, which is 3 in a blue sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except that token has flying and it isn't legendary if that creature is legendary. So what's better than one? What's better than one giraffe? Maybe 2. 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Quantum Misalignment is 4 in the blue sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it isn't legendary. But this also has rebound, so the turn that you play it, you get another one. Hopefully you're able to cast another spell, so now you're getting 2 zombies instead of 1, and you're buffing more zombies out, because that triggers the way, you know, the way it reads is like how many zombie tokens enter the battlefield is how many token or counters you can put on a zombie, right? But then on your next upkeep, 1, it's gonna count for your spell casted for that turn, so any spells that you cast after that, it's just free zombies pretty much. But it's also gonna give us a 3rd Geralf The Fleshwright, and then now we're gonna be making 3 zombies, and it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy, guys. Give me cover. These are going to be the cards that are going to help us support our zombie army that we're going to be producing and helping us find a way to get through. We have Giraffe, Visionary, Stitcher, 2 in the blue, legendary creature, human, wizard. Zombies you control have flying, and it also has a tap ability where you can sacrifice another non-token creature and then create a somewhat big zombie, but not really, because a lot of our creatures in this deck are very low powered. But it's a great way for you to just in case someone's gonna steal maybe your commander, maybe one of our key creatures that we kind of need, then you can go ahead and just sacrifice it, and they don't get to have it. There's not a lot of ways to recur creatures in blue. We have Eternal Skylord, which again is just gonna give us our zombie tokens the ability to fly, which is scary. Flying zombies are always scary. But this one's probably my favorite one in here. Octavia, Living Thesis, 8 and 2 blue, legendary creature, Elemental Octopus. This spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instant sorceries in your graveyard. Should be easy. It has Ward 8, which is controversial, but it also has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, target creature has base power and toughness 8 until end of turn. So if you cast 2 to 3 spells, now you have 24 power on board, and if those zombies have flying, someone's probably dead at that point by the time you cast this. But yeah, it's this this card is always like really funny to me. And then Kindred Discovery. This isn't really giving me cover or giving our zombies any type of support, but it's giving you support. 3 and 2 blue enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or draws our attacks, draw a card. So whenever we're creating our zombies, draw a card. Whenever we attack with our zombies, draw a card. This is going to be a really great way for us to keep our hands full, and you got to pick this card up now. I mean, gosh, this card used to be $30. Now it's like $5, and it's just great for all those Kindred decks, and I know a lot of people have those type of decks. So if you have a blue Kindred deck, go ahead and pick this up ASAP before, I don't know, they decide to stop printing this card. Let's go. The dead will walk the earth. If you guys don't know where that's from Dawn of the Dead, where they says like, when hell is full, the dead will walk the earth. I don't know if that's the exact thing, but this is going to be a great way for us to finish the game out. Wash out, 3 in a blue, return all permanents of the color of your choice to their owner's hands. Unfortunately, I was kind of sad about this, but our zombie rogues are blue and black, so it kind of limits us a little bit more. But to get rid of any big fatties in green and red is going to be a great way, and then it possibly give us a way to end the game. Same with Spectral Deluge, 4 and 2 blue sorcery. Return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control, and then you can foretell it. So you foretell this early in the game, people forget about it. Maybe they think it's a Raven form and not expecting the Spectral Deluge. But we do run about 25 islands in this, so if you play this towards the end of the game, you're most likely going to return everything that your opponents control. Again, I gotta say, like, if you want to upgrade this, obviously Psychriff is the most superior, so put that in. But I feel like these do a nice little imitation of that. Unfortunately, they're all sorcery, so And then we gotta play what I like to call blue overwhelming. Unfortunately, it doesn't give our creatures trample. But Candlekeep Inspiration is a 4 and a blue sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are instant sorcery cards and or have an adventure. We run about 36 instant sorceries in here, so a late game finisher this is. And then one I kind of wanted to highlight, but probably my favorite one, is doing a poor imitation of, what was it, Cryptic Command. Reverse the polarity, 1 and 2 blue, choose instant, choose 1, counter all other spells. Switch each creature's power and toughness until end of turn, and creatures can't be blocked this turn. I would say that this is going to be a card that's for you when you're trying to swing out, but I like this card is in here mainly for the last portion of it where it says creatures can't be blocked this turn. Maybe someone is swinging out at somebody else who's the main problem, and you're like, well, I want that person dead, so let's go ahead and make the other person's creatures unblockable so that player can go, and then you can finish out that player. It's just you gotta time this well. If you can time it that way, it's hilarious. Obviously someone's gonna be mad or salty about it. Sometimes they get salty about it, but or you could just use this for yourself. If you've built up quite a extensive board of zombies and you have the kill amount on board, then just use it for that. Like before blockers, I'll cast Reverse the Polarity, all my zombies can't be blocked, and then now you're just dead and I win the game. But that's going to be it for this deck tech for Geralf The Fleshwright. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, do you think his sister is better? I mean, she might be at creating zombies. But for a $60 deck, I think this one's going to be really fun. You know, you're going to be churning through your deck pretty fast, and you're going to be creating a decent amount of zombies on your turn. We also have the drawbridge in this deck tag. I didn't put it on here, but I should have. You know, where you can give all your zombies haste and all that stuff, and that might also be a great finisher for you, because people are like, oh well, they have summoning sickness so they can't attack, so you're like, oh wait, forgot about this. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. All right guys, have a good one. We always appreciate you.